Brad Smith with a record-setting day for the Missouri Tigers as they trounce the Nebraska Cornhuskers with their high-powered offense. Smith becomes just the 6th quarterback in NCAA history to throw and rush for 200 yards in the same game. He sets a school record with 480 total yards of offense. Here are Dave Land and Dave Lapham with the call.
Here with the Tigers. Missouri also a 5-6 club a year ago. And the kickoff to Missouri and is brought out of the end zone. To the 15 and the 20 and out to the 23-yard line for the Missouri Tigers. And Kester makes the tackle for Nebraska. Let's take a look at our Kyocera starting lineup. First of all, for the offense, and that means the Mizzou Tigers. Brad Smith has literally done it all. The leading rusher in the Big 12 Conference, his career yardage total, quite a story. Tony Palmer leads them up front, got the interest of the NFL guys, and in their wideouts, they've got 5 receivers with a minimum of 20 receptions, and you see Woods at the tailback spot, averages 5.4 per carry to score 3 times.
No huddle, Bill, right to the line of scrimmage, Missouri establishing tempo.
Smith throws it and completes it out near the 27-yard line, making the reception for the Missouri Tigers. And let's take a look at the Nebraska defensive group, brought to you by Kyocera. Leading the nation in sacks, they'll play maybe 9 down linemen. They're the starters. The linebackers, Dave told you all about McEwen. Rudd follows the family tradition there, or the Rude, I should say. Green, Bullocks, and the rest of the bunch in the secondary, well, they'll play as many as 6. Very deep Nebraska defensive group.
Trying to make Nebraska play simple defensively with no huddle attack.
Brad Smith got some time, plenty of time. Go in deep. And it is complete inside the 25-yard line. Ekwerekwu with the reception, and the Tigers are already knocking on the door.
Well, they got the matchup they wanted, the mismatch. They get Ekwerekwu against McEwen, the linebacker, and it's just a jump ball. And Ekwerekwu is 6'3". It all started with protection. Nebraska rushed 3 and dropped 8. And then Brad Smith just throws it down the football field. You have a jump ball like we talked about, contested catch made by the taller receiver.
First and 10 at the 23. And on the ground, and Woods weaving his way inside the 20 down near the 18-yard line. The tackle by Grigsby. Take a look at our Dr. Pepper keys for the Missouri Tigers.
Well, the first key was to win the contested catch, and they did it. They won the contested catch on that play right there, putting them in position. They want to be equal to the ability of Nebraska on special teams and hang in there with field position and quickness over size. They want to be able to beat Nebraska with their quickness.
Smith on the pitch to Woods, and play, fumbled it. It fell on it at the 15.
Little shovel pass.
Yeah, Adams makes the tackle, and Franklin made sure he came in to cover it up. That's where they'll mark it at the 15-yard line. So 3rd down and 1 to go.
Big strategy by Missouri to go no huddle. It's eliminating Nebraska substituting personnel. They're keeping the same players on the field going up tempo, trying to tire them out. They can't substitute.
3rd and 1. Smith comes back the other way.
Wow.
Touchdown!
Lost it.
Yes, Tigers touchdown! Some crazy things have happened in the end zone between these two teams. If you go back to, what was it, 97?
Absolutely.
But Nebraska eked out here where they were ranked #1. Missouri gets on the board first here. Brad Smith with the pass for the TD.
Well, watch him make you miss. This is Brad Smith at his best. A little elusiveness, escapability, and then throws a frozen rope on the run. Nebraska knocks it loose. But I'll tell you what, you run to the football, good things happen. And moving to the football, Tommy Saunders is rewarded with a touchdown reception. And I think they're going to take a look at it and make sure he had complete control of it.
Yep.
Going to make sure that the ball was completely controlled for a touchdown. Possession, and the ground can't help you with that possession. I think Tommy Saunders, you know what, you never give up on a play. Tommy Saunders followed the play. He hustled to the area where the football was, and he got the deflected catch. I mean, just an unbelievable effort. Great throw by Smith. The ball is on the money and just sandwich shot. Unbelievable hit. The ball initially caught by Franklin, and he gets high-low. The ball pops out of there, and Saunders, with all of his hustle, goes and makes a play on the deflection. High-low, ball up. Saunders, does he catch it before it hits the ground? I think so. I think so. But, boy, things are rolling right for Missouri early on in this football game. Instead of a takeaway in the end zone, which would have been a touchback, forced fumble, recovered in midair by Missouri for the touchdown.
And this is the purpose
the play stands
of
is
replay.
called. It's a touchdown.
It is a touchdown. And Bill Callahan looks on. The Tigers celebrate. And you talk about putting the team on their heels. Well, Missouri has done that.
Great strategy to come out no huddle. Nebraska likes to roll players in there a little bit and keep people fresh for pass rush. Missouri said, we're going up tempo. We're going no huddle. You can't sub people. We'll catch you with too many men on the field. It made them play simple defenses and it eliminated their substitution pattern. Good strategy by Missouri.
And now for the point after, and a flag is thrown here as Missouri trying to get Adam Crossett to get his 22nd PAT of the year. Crossett is a sophomore from Liberty, Missouri. Does the punting and the kicking off as well.
I think Nebraska encroached and made contact. Unless the center flinched.
Before
no,
the snap,
just offside on Nebraska.
Number 54 on the defense. Penalty is declined.
So all they get is half the distance to the goal. There's no reason to accept the penalty. Go ahead and pump it through.
Tyler Wortman, the infraction against.
It's big for Missouri to come right out and storm down the football field with the big play.
Up and no good. And a flag is thrown. And it is against Nebraska, I believe, Dave.
Yeah, I think so. The body language of McCune tells you that it's against the Cornhuskers. And it's going to be roughing the kicker. Running into the kicker.
Running into the kicker, number 49 on the defense. Point was no good, so we'll retry.
Wow, what a break, and Missouri an opportunity to kick again here. We'll take a look.
And this is something that we talked about as a key, and that's a good acting job right there. That's a nice job by Crossett. You get yourself a nice little statue, Emmy Academy statue for the room. That was well done.
Point after is good. You give him a second pop at it, and he is officially now 22 of 24.
So there he goes again inside the 20. Let's take a look at Nebraska's keys for this afternoon's football game and what Nebraska wants to do. Recognition and communication. Quarterback, center. Missouri gives a lot of different looks and then create chunks. Get the football down the field, Nebraska wants to, with big plays, and they want to contain Brad Smith, keep him in the pocket. They didn't do it on that first drive.
They fake to Woods, come the other way to Franklin, and Nebraska not fooled at all. That was a look at the Dr. Pepper keys to the game. Bowman making the stop that time for the Huskers. This Husker defensive unit is only allowing 14 points a game. That's best in the Big 12, 7th nationally, and their total defense giving up just 289 yards a game. That's why that Missouri drive was so impressive to start us off today.
And up tempo again, no huddle. It worked well. Stay with it.
Second 11 from the 18. Smith in trouble. Giving chase and running him out of bounds is Carricker at the 21-yard line.
Take a look at Nebraska now defensively. They'll come back to the area at the football for the huddle, and everybody's looking to the sideline. Now they have to call plays in from the side. Here's the first substitution pattern that Nebraska has been able to do because the ball was stopped by going out of bounds. The clock was stopped. Now they run people out in the football field and finally substitute for the first time all day long. Great strategy by Missouri.
3rd and 9 at the 20 officially for the Tigers. Smith. And it is complete at the 31-yard line. 1st and 10 for Mizzou. You talk about using your height.
Franklin.
Mentioned that in the pregame comments. Right. There's a perfect example of it.
Yep, and Franklin does that. I mean, it all starts up front. The protection for Smith is exceptional. And Franklin bodies it up and makes the reception. That's just a good job, almost like a basketball player. Green's in position to make the play, but Franklin had position on him with his body, kept his body between the defender and the football, and security.
Franklin, sophomore out of St. Louis, 22 receptions, 197 yards coming in. And how about Smith? 6 of 6 for 81 yards to start the game. Now he runs it. 35-40. Watch out! Smith! Can they catch him? Inside the 15-yard line. Bullets ran him down.
Well, I'll tell you, Smith only had 84 total yards against Iowa State before he got dinged and had a helmet-to-helmet hit and got knocked out of the game. He is ripping it today. A little misdirection. Hold the football. Nebraska does not stay home. They went with the ball fake, thinking the running back had the football. Now it's Smith off to the sidelines. He goes and almost punched out of there. Bullets tried to punch the football out of there from behind. Bullets showing good speed, running Smith down. Tried to hammer the ball out of there from behind, but good ball security by Brad Smith. Once he felt bullets on his shoulder, he secured the pig. Boy, he clamped it.
We'll see how he's fared against the Huskers. 53 yards on that run. He had 39 for the game against Iowa State. As Dave mentioned, bottled up before he got hammered and was knocked out of it. Now the pitch to Woods. Good old dancing, came back, got down near the 19-yard line, but a loss on the play as Carricker makes the tackle for Nebraska as they shut down the outside game there for the Tigers. Woods coming in with 370 yards rushing, 5.4 per carry. And Carricker, what a player out of Kennewick, Washington.
And once again, tempo is everything for Missouri right now. Tempo is everything. And that was the first tackle for loss for Nebraska today. They had 76 coming into today's game. Tackle for loss most in the country.
You see Smith moving up the national charge for career. Wow. Now he completes it, Franklin, and Franklin steps out of bounds at the 4. It'll be a 1st and goal as Bo Rude made the tackle, the sophomore from Lincoln for the Huskers.
And you know what I like what Franklin did? Awareness where he was on the football field. Here he is in the slot. Watch him run the route and watch him tightrope the sideline. He's going to take it to the sideline, and now he knows where he is. Look at him. He looks and make sure he stays in bounds. I mean, that's just good awareness of where you are on the football field, and Brad Smith will strike.
15 yards on the play. Missouri touchdown, and the Tigers have stunned Nebraska here in the early going.
Once again, the misdirection. Brad Smith, instead of giving the ball to the back, all the run action going to the right, Brad Smith keeps the football and runs it around the left. It's exactly what he did the opposite. Look at all the action. Smith keeps the ball, comes back the other way. And now the one-on-one tackle is not made before he crosses the end zone. A good hit by Tiki, but not before Brad Smith took it in for a touchdown. That's the exact same run he ran the other direction for the 59-yard run. A little misdirection with Brad Smith, a little prestidigitation.
What was that?
A little magic with that ball, a little ball fake.
All right, 4-yard TD run. Point after with no flag this time by Crossan. 48 in now, first quarter left here in Columbia. Brad Smith has thrown for a score. He has run for a score. And the Dodge scoring drive, 7 plays, 81 yards, just 139 as the Tigers will kick it off again.
You know, Bill, you have a guy in Brad Smith who always rebounds after a tough game. Career low, 84 yards total offense against Iowa State. Is he rebounding today or what? Sign of a great player. Don't make one bad week, 2 bad weeks.
And the kick to the 21-yard line, and not much out near the 27-yard line. Brandon Jackson on the return, and Overstreet makes the tackle that time for the Tigers. Now let's go back to the Tigers scoring drive and how this thing all came about.
Right, watch, this is the same play. This run action to the left, he's going to fake to the back. Brad Smith's going to keep it. He's going to go for over 50 down the right sideline. The touchdown run they had, watch Coffey. Great block on the perimeter by Coffey and gets him off to the races. Excellent down the field on the perimeter blocking. But that run set up the touchdown run. It's the exact same call, just the other way. Fake the run to the left, and then he just keeps it. Smith keeps it going to the right, and he keeps it going to his left.
First and 10 at the 28 for the Huskers, and Zach Taylor hands it off to Corey Ross, the senior out of Denver, and Harrington makes the tackle here as he is stopped for maybe a yard. We'll see what they call it.
Watch the touchdown. Smith is watching the defensive end. As soon as he sees the defensive end fly inside, he's saying, I'm keeping the ball, no defensive end at home. I'm going to beat the one-on-one tackle out there by Tiki. Just a great recognition by Smith, and then a great finish in the open field to power it in for a touchdown. Excellent play calling, excellent execution.
Smith's 7th touchdown rushing this season. Taylor to throw it on 2nd and 9. Ross, and they're right there to smother that play as well as Brian Smith making the tackle. Also Ziggy Hood, number 94, 6'4", 280. is in on the play.
And Ziggy was zaggy all over the place on that one. He was everywhere. And look at the difference in Taylor. The first 3 games, 43% completions and 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. And then you go the other way. The last 3 games, over 61%, and he's 3-to-1. He's 3-to-1. The way you want the touchdown interception ratio to be, instead of 1-3, it's 3-to-1.
3rd and 10 here. He had a school record 431 yards passing in the win over Iowa State.
Wow.
And he completes this one for the first down out across the 50-yard line.
Ball's
and a
out.
loose football. I think they'd whistled it dead. It is Nebraska football. Johnson made the tackle on Swift.
Well, here's some RPMs now. This is a kid that's got a gun. Zach Taylor threw a ski right, and he gets to the backside. Look, he's looking front side, 1-2 progression, 3rd read backside, get rid of it. He gets kissed a little bit, and I don't mean that, you know, favorably. Jamar Smith takes him down with a little contact, and he throws a frozen rope. Tell you what, Zach can hum it. Swift, nice catch.
24 yards on the play. Swift now, watch him from the side. 1st and 10 from the 48. And the dump across the 45-yard line, and legging for the first down territory as Overstreet making the tackle on Dane Todd. Todd's 3rd reception.
Well, here he is, Todd. He's the check down guy. Watch him just release, and he's the check down guy for Zach, and he delivers the ball beautifully. And now run people over and get some yards after catch. That's a young man right there that has time management figured out. Dane Todd is a 4.0 GPA. That's a smart fullback you got right there. He knows what he's doing on the football field. Look at this cluster here.
Bioscience major to boot in that category. 2nd down and 1. Taylor incomplete. Put off the fingertips of Todd Peterson, I believe, as Bacon was putting pressure that time.
That's tough to do, Bill. Todd Peterson, 6'4". And Zach threw it up there, you know, more like a power forward in the NBA height. Zach overthrew him there. Now you face another 3rd down, albeit 3rd and short. This is a makeable conversion for Nebraska. Thinking ahead, if they come up a little short, is it 4-down territory for Coach Callahan, already down 14-zip.
Mizzou shuttling defenders. 3rd and 1 for Nebraska, already trailing 14-zip. Keep it on the ground, pulling forward. Appears that they've got it down near the 37. And Alexander leading the charge on the play.
And I agree with you. I think his 2nd and 3rd effort got him the first down. Pulling that left guard, it's kind of a little convoy. Fullback left guard carrying him through line of scrimmage. The noise factor. Nebraska was late coming off the football. You have to have poise in the noise. And it is noisy here. You have a rabid Missouri crowd, and it's hard to hear the snap count communicate.
Cody Glenn getting his first carry of the day for the 1st and 10.
Wow.
And they come right back on the ground, and Ross shows you his ability to get outside as he is brought down by Shulock, but a flag is thrown near the Nebraska sideline as he is stopped at the 25-yard line. If the play stands, it'll be a 1st down.
Yeah, this is sometimes where a hold on the perimeter occurs a little bit. They're saying it's against Missouri, though. Personal foul, face mask, 15-yard variety. Not just the 5-yard, 15-yard. It was the grab and tug. And let's see if we can see it at the end. You know, you have a running back, Corey Ross. Oh, yeah, he definitely grabbed and twisted the head around. That's where you can get some neck injuries, and the damage was done by Shulock. He grabbed that face mask and pulled it. Corey Ross, 5'6", over 190 pounds. I mean, that is one put-together dude. If he were 6 feet tall, he'd weigh about 230. He's stout now.
1st and 10 at the 13 as Nebraska trying to claw its way back into this one. And Ross found an opening and zips it up the middle down to the 9-yard line.
And this is where a game that Nebraska played earlier against Texas Tech, Bill, comes into play. They came from behind. They were facing a big deficit, came from behind. They're down 14 points in the road. They know that this drive is pivotal. They have to score on this drive. They don't want to settle for 3. They're down 2 touchdowns. And they give the ball to their stud, 5'6", 195-pound Corey Ross, and let him get some things done. A nice mix of run and pass on this drive in the West Coast offense, and they're responding to adversity right now.
2nd down and 6, the ball on the 9-yard line. And a flag thrown as the ball carrier Marlon Lucky brought down by Brian Smith at the 5-yard line.
Is this one of those deals where you only had 6 men on the line of scrimmage? Nebraska, did they line up legally? I think that's the deal. I think they only had 6 men. You have to have 7 on the line of scrimmage. One of the receivers did not get up on the line of scrimmage by a lineman. You don't want those penalties in the red zone. In the scoring zone, you can't have the pre-snap mental error. Pre-snap penalties make Bill Callahan get a little gray or lose a little hair.
Formation on the offense, not enough players on the line of scrimmage. 5 yards, second down.
No, those are killers. You can't. Yards are tough to come by in this area because the field's compressed. You don't want to give 5 of them back because you had a player that did not know what his responsibility was on alignment by formation.
And now you sit 2nd and 11 from the 14 in what would believe to be more of a throwing situation. Zach Taylor. Oh, nearly picked off as he was headed for the end zone on that pass play. And Overstreet is the man that is saying, boy, I probably should have had it.
Overstreet was coming over the top. Overstreet was flying. Watch him right here. He's playing center field. And he's going to be reading the quarterback eyes. And watch him just come over the top to make a play. Almost picked it off. Should have picked it off. Wishes he picked it off.
He's got 1 interception. Has broken up 5 now on the season. And leading Missouri in tackles with 56. It's 3rd down now and 12. The ball at the 15. Zach Taylor. Good protection. No. Got hammered just as he released the football. And coming on was Lorenzo Williams.
And Lorenzo Williams doing a good job against big left tackle Umalu Thomas. And he sometimes has trouble in pass protection, protecting the blind side of Taylor. And he got beaten around the edge. You see him there in your screen, chasing the play after being whipped. And protection not stout enough. Now Nebraska having to settle for the field goal because of the pre-snap penalty and the pressure.
Congdon out of San Diego, California, the true freshman, a 32-yard field goal attempt. Straight shot, and he boots it through. Missouri 14, Nebraska 3, and that stout Nebraska defense has been shell-shocked early. Our DirecTV leaders have the Huskers on top nationally with 35 sacks this season. Ohio State, Louisville, and then Rutgers. But Missouri put them on their heels early. Nebraska hitting on the field goal by Congdon, and now Missouri gets it back on the kickoff down, or they're up 14-3 and returned out to the 21-yard line. The Tigers will take possession there on the return for Missouri. Arnold Britt and Moore makes the stop on the other side.
Well, Brad Smith is playing out of his mind.
Or the way we've seen him on occasion.
Oh,
this year. Wow, what a start. First Down Line is brought to you by Overstock.com, your online outlet. It's all about the O. It is 1st and 10 at the 21.
Watch for the blitz right here in the slot.
Smith going right up the middle. They won't catch him this time. Brad Smith is gone.
When you play a high-risk defense like Nebraska does, sometimes when you break the line of scrimmage, there's nobody at the linebacker level. There's no safety in the middle of the football field. Zero coverage. All of Nebraska's defenders were within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Brad Smith said, if I can just get by the line of scrimmage, I'm gone. And he was.
Brad Smith, 79 yards. The Tigers tack on 6 more. And cross it coming on for the point after. Smith with 138 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns in the first quarter.
Unbelievable.
Cross it. Sticks it through the uprights. It is now 21-3 Missouri. Brad Smith's longest run of his career.
Look, everybody's at the line of scrimmage. No linebackers, no safeties in the middle of the field. They trap, kick out, boom. See you later. A perfect call. They run a quarterback draw off of a trap action. Watch the lineman pull Palmer. Boom, gets the block. And there goes Smith. Says, see you later. I mean, you couldn't have had a more perfect call. I'm wondering if Smith may have audibleized at the line of scrimmage when we saw everybody up at the line of scrimmage and center field wide open. Big old Tony Palmer pulls from that left guard position, gets the kick out block. See you later. Game. might be rushing yards in a quarter for a quarterback.
Yeah, and he is.
Or, I mean, what, are we still in the same quarter or in a half? I don't know. He is on track for some serious numbers. He is rewriting the Missouri record book as well as the NCAA record book for a quarterback.
And the kickoff by the Tigers. Taken at the 15-yard line and across near the 22-yard line for Nebraska. Brandon Jackson with the carry. Now let's take a Dr. Pepper game break with Bill Jones.
Unreal.
Thank you, Bill. How about those Wildcats? I had that bizarre game with Wisconsin before. What a season they're having. Take a look here. Nebraska comes rolling right back through the air on the pass completion, and Overstreet makes the tackle. Speaking of that Big Ten, talk about a log jam. Look at that one.
Unbelievable. And I want to hear what John L. Smith has to say at halftime on that play.
He went not.
He went cuckoo last week in the Ohio State game. He may go more cuckoo in the Northwestern matchup.
That game's on cable. Well, right here, Nebraska trying to pick itself up off the floor. 21-3. And again, the pass is complete out near the 49-yard line where Harrington is in the play. Swift with the reception this time. And very close to the first down. Let's see if they give it to him on the spot.
And Bill, the versatility of the West Coast offense is going to be favorable for Nebraska here. Last week against Baylor, they ran it 51 times. They threw it 55 times against Iowa State for a school record 430-some-odd yards. This gives you the versatility to do both. They can spread you out with 5 receivers like they did and throw it. They can pound it. They can do anything in between.
2nd and 1 on the ground. Ross breaks a couple of tackles across the 35-yard line and down to the 34. Corey Ross brought down by David Overstreet. Picks up 17 on that run, and the Tigers now need to step it up defensively.
Okay, let's see if you can find Ross. Where is he? Where is he? He's hiding behind those big offensive line, and then boom! And Overstreet says, oh, there he is, but he's making some people miss. Simpson misses. Overstreet has to get involved. But he's 5'6" and runs with a good body lean. I mean, you can't reach down even to grab him. That's why the face mask occurred. Ross at 5'6", you start trying to grab something to tackle him, you grab it up by the headgear.
1st and 10 at the 34. The Huskers on the move. Taylor, great protection. Going for 6. Touchdown Huskers. Oh my, what a grab by Peterson in full stride.
And what a throw by Zach Taylor into double coverage. I mean, it was over the safety in front of the corner. I mean, that is a perfect throw, and Peterson caught the back half of the football. What a play on all phases. The protection starts there. They pick the twists up inside. Plenty of vision for Taylor, and you can't throw a ball any better than that. I mean, that's just an incredible throw right there, and a tremendous effort. I mean, Peterson, 6'4". He needed all of that 6'4" to stretch for that one.
And for the point after, Sam Cook, Brother Congdon, I beg your pardon, with the PAT as Peterson gets the touchdown, his first as a Husker.
Man, here's Peterson. Watch the route. Protection's good. Missouri's twisting up front. They pick it up, and the safety can't get there. Beats the corner. The corner should have had more outside technique because he had safety and inside help with the safety. The corner lost his technique, and I'll tell you what, Peterson made him pay, and Zach Taylor says, I can't throw it any better. Thanks for making that outstanding catch, Peterson. That's big time.
21-10, first quarter. 2:44 here to go in Columbia in the first period of play.
Is this arena football? I mean, we're scoring at a frenzied pace here. This is unrealism. We better get ready. I'm going to buckle up the seat belt, and I'm going to retape my ankles because we got it going on here.
Better keep my distance. Stay away from that forearm shiver.
Yeah.
A little red into it as well as the Huskers, after being flattened 14-0, answer with a field goal. Brad Smith counters with the 79-yard touchdown run, and just like that, Nebraska bounces right back. Peterson from Taylor for 34 yards in the touch. And the kickoff to Mizzou. Woods from the 6.
Wow.
The 20, and out of bounds near the 30-yard line. I beg your pardon, not Woods. Let me correct you on that.
Temple.
Tony Temple with the return. Nice job.
And Nebraska lost their contain. You can't get sucked that far inside. You have to stay outside and maintain leverage on the kickoff coverage. You cannot lose your coverage lane like that, and Temple made them pay big time.
How about this? The Huskers rush defense this season, 65 a game today, 142 allowed in the first quarter. And what Smith got 138 of that?
And Bill, they were only giving up 1.9 a rush, less than 2 yards a carry. That's getting bombarded today, that average.
Big plays. Smith, looping across the middle, just out of reach that time for Ekru. More
real coverage. Oh, Ekru, if he continues to run instead of circling it up, I mean, he basically runs a little bit of a pattern. Here he goes down the middle, and he starts circling. Just continue to run. I mean, he just did like a pirouette in the middle of the football field. If he just runs and adjusts over either shoulder, he's fine.
He came in with 20 receptions for 134 yards and 3 touchdowns. 2nd and 10 from the 34. Smith to Temple. Good job of pursuit to the football by the Nebraska D, just shy of the 30-yard line. Rude leading the way. Rude coming in with 37 tackles on the season.
It's another Rude. Barrett Rude, of course, drafted in the 2nd round by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is younger brother. Dad Tom Rude played for Nebraska, All-American, teammate of mine, the Cincinnati Bengals years back. It's crazy to see all these teammates and former opponents' kids playing now at the college level. It's making me feel old, Bill.
Well, that's all right. I'm hanging right there with you. 3rd and 14 from the 30-yard line now. Smith, it's the play.
Spreading the field, 5 wide, 3 and 2.
Smith in trouble. Trying to improvise. Found a man and completes it just shy of the first down, it would appear. Excellent job by Britt on the reception to come back to the football just a little bit. Bullocks making the stop defensively.
Yeah, if Bullocks doesn't win that little sumo wrestling war there, it's a first down. I mean, you talk about Smith being patient, taking it all the way to the sideline. Here's what he's looking at, Bullocks, and he gets it down the football field. Now, Bullocks is there, and he takes him backwards instead of falling forward. Oh, Bullocks brings him back, and it's not a first down. That's a good open field tackle right there.
4th and 1 at the Missouri 43. They show that they're going to go for it. This year, they're 5 of 10 in 4th down conversion opportunities.
And Nebraska's got to stay on side. Missouri may be just trying to yank them offside here with a hard count, but no.
Smith in trouble. Got a man wide open, and it is complete at the 35, at the 30, and dragging down inside the 21-yard line is Coffee. Bowman, the touchdown-saving tackle for Nebraska.
And they go to the big fella, 6'5" Coffee, and you know what? Gary Pinkel says the way we played the last 8 minutes of last week, we're confident. We have a swagger. I'm going to stay with it, and I'm going to show confidence in my players. And they run a little play-action. Coffee slides behind the secondary. I'll tell you what, Missouri could not be more aggressive with their play calling than they've been all day. They are gashing Nebraska's defense with big chunks.
And that play, 34 yards, 37 yards, and now the flags are thrown here. But we still have 28 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. Left guard, left tackle. 5 yards, first down.
The left side of Missouri's offensive line, Tony Palmer and Tyler Llewellyn a little bit early. And, you know, you get in that red zone, and Gary Pinkel, he's frustrated because you don't want to take those pre-snap penalties in the red zone. Nebraska did it and installed their drive for a field goal. And now in the red zone is Missouri, and they take a pre-snap penalty.
As a result, 1st and 15 from the 25. Brad Smith sees if he can get it back. A little jitterbug and gets down to the 18-yard line before Tiedtke makes the tackle. Blake Tiedtke, a senior out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, with the stop for the Huskers.
I'll tell you what, a great block by Tony Temple. I mean, he got after Bullocks. He hit Daniel Bullocks right in the smush.
Football classics. The Tigers jumping out to an early lead, but Nebraska is able to narrow the gap on Zach Taylor's touchdown pass, cutting Mizzou's lead to 21-10. We rejoin the action in the second quarter.
Welcome back on Kyocera's College Football Saturday in Columbia, Missouri at Faurot Field, where the Missouri Tigers lead Nebraska 21-10. These two at 2-1 each coming in Big 12 North action. Colorado, the other 2-1 team, they play Kansas. A lot at stake for these North clubs right now, and Brad Smith off to an absolutely incredible start today. Has the Tigers 2nd and 7. They're on the 18 of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and a timeout to start the quarter.
After the end of the quarter, a timeout, and Coach Pinkel is upset. He's talking to the official about something, obviously, that maybe Nebraska did from a substitution standpoint. I don't know. Coach Pinkel's upset, though, but boy, I'll tell you, Nebraska's running to a buzzsaw, and that buzzsaw is named Smith, and his first name is Brad. He is just playing at an unbelievably high level. Coach Pinkel's still not happy with what caused Missouri to have to call that timeout.
Let's send it down to John Radigan on the sidelines.
Hey, Bill, I'll tell you what, this is a picture in this morning's Columbia Tribune, and the fans here are starting to feel a little deja vu from 2 years ago. This is what happened 2 years ago when Missouri played Nebraska right here. It was a huge upset, the first time in 24 years that Missouri had beaten Nebraska, and they took down not one, but both sets of goalposts on that evening. It was their first night game in a long time. It was a huge victory that featured a couple of trick plays. One of them, Brad Smith catching a touchdown pass, and it was a big win for Gary Pinkel's squad that took down both goalposts. The fans are already thinking about doing that again today, guys.
Well, hopefully they'll wait till at least halftime. It's 2nd down and 7 now, following the timeout for the Tigers. Smith tosses it. Coffee had one blocker out there to help him get down near the 11-yard line, short of the first down, and Bowman making the stop for the Huskers.
And that blocker was big right tackle Joel Klinger. He got out in front there and tried to do what he could to help his receiver Coffee get down the football field. There's the big fella, just can't quite sustain contact quite long enough, and Bowman gets off, separates from the block, and makes the play.
Empty backfield for the Tigers on a 3rd and 1 at the 11. Just starting the second quarter. Smith got time. Oh, incomplete, looking for Coffee in the end zone that time. Zip through Bowman covering on the play again for the Huskers, as Coffee coming in with 99 receptions, 1,421 yards, and 13 touchdowns in his career.
Okay, you're playing corner now, and here comes the ball zip. And nice job by Bowman getting both hands on that football. I like spreading the field and having Smith run a quarterback draw right there. Boy, they got a cut block up front, take people down. Smith is such a weapon in the red zone with that quarterback draw.
And the 29-yard field goal for Crossett now as he sets up the 19-yard line. It's 4th and 1. And Missouri trying to tack on 3 more. And Crossett takes care of business. Welcome back. Kyocera's College Football Saturday, Missouri with a 24-10 lead. John Radigan was talking about the last time Mizzou won here was 2 years ago. Stopped the 24-game losing streak. Trick plays galore. And guess who? As Brad Smith leading the way once again, as he ended up scoring a school record, then 4 touchdowns, tying the school record on their way to a 41-24 win. An 84-yarder this year. He liked to knock one that deep here.
Nice.
It's a dandy, and it's taken on the 25-yard line. And out near the 38-yard line, as Woods returns the football, to Missouri will get pretty good field position.
Yeah, you got a penalty.
6:23 to go, and a flag is thrown.
Yeah, I think it might be. It's either Davis or Johnson. Number 2 in the Missouri jersey had an illegal block in the back, and clipped. Had an illegal block in the back on a Nebraska cover man. And there's 2 number 2s, and they both could be on special teams. I think it might be Davis, but he pushed him in the back, and it's going to cost Missouri 10 yards.
Illegal block it back on the return team. Post kick enforcement from the end of the kick, 10 yards.
And that was a 55-yard punt if it had stood. Let's send it down now to John Radigan. Where are you, my man?
Well, I'm in the Red Sea here pretty much, Bill. You can see here the Nebraska fans are notorious for traveling well. There are about 6,000 of them here today. Obviously, they fill this whole corner section of the stadium. Here's the difference, though. As recently as 1999, Nebraska put 25 or 30,000 fans in this place because the Missouri football ticket was not that hot a ticket. That's what a difference Gary Pinkel has made with this program. $6 grand is all they could get, although they're having fun with their 6,000 that are here, guys.
Yeah, the rest are scattered around the stadium. Brad Smith back in the lineup after Daniel had his one series, and he scampers out of bounds on a first down and 10 situation and gets near the 20-yard line where Rude is there to make the play, and it'll be a second and about 5.
You know, I really like the comments of Chase Daniel after the game last week, Iowa State, because this guy right here, Brad Smith, has done it for a long time. Daniel was in for 8 minutes. 8 minutes is not a career make. Nebraska showed him a little different look. Now, experience is a factor, and Smith has it all.
Yeah, Daniel said, I respect him totally. He's 10 times better than I'll ever be in this offense, talking about Smith. And that's for a guy who was the star of the game and very easily could have gotten a little bit of a fat head, but not the case at all.
But he understands that 8 minutes does not a career make, and he's going to see a lot of different defenses, a lot of different looks. Brad Smith has been exposed to it all, but it's nice to have a humble guy like that that can execute at a high level and capable of playing if Brad Smith does get nicked up.
3rd down and 3 from the 22 for Missouri. The high-scoring first quarter. Things have tapered off a bit here in the second. Smith in trouble and brought down on the play as might be a coverage sack as Carricker made the tackle.
That's his 7th sack of the season. He came into the game 11th best in the country, and these Nebraska D linemen, they don't do anything real fancy. They just look at the bull rush action. I mean, I'm going to take you up the field now. Carricker cleans up. The reason that the sack occurred, significant bull rush by Lakeven Smith. He collapsed the pocket. Brad Smith had to tuck it and start moving. Carricker cleaned it up. Lakeven Smith was the man with the bull on that one.
Well, Crossett had a 61-yard punt last time. He stands inside his own 5 once again. Here's blocked.
Picked it.
And it is recovered by Nebraska Bullocks on the 1-yard line. Man, we told you to pay attention to special teams, and Nebraska with the block kick and Bullocks with the recovery, and now they're knocking on the door.
And this is a shortest of short fields, and that's just a great individual play by Bullocks. He beat the blocker and then recovers it. He blocks it and comes up with it. And you know what? You try to ricochet block. That's a tough deal. That's a tough proposition in there for Chase Kaufman. And it was a real problem for him. Tried to block 2, didn't block either. Bullocks gets his hand on it. Huge play.
1st and goal for the 1-yard line, and the Huskers try to answer immediately. They do. Touchdown, Nebraska. On the carry for the Huskers, Cody Glenn, a freshman from Rusk, Texas.
Well, Nebraska beat Pittsburgh earlier this year 7-6, and they had a blocked field goal in that game that was crucial.
At the very end.
At the very end. Nebraska beat Pittsburgh, and they beat Iowa State in a lot of instances with great special teams play. 2 of their 5 wins you can directly attribute to the kicking game. And this one, that's a significant play in this game. You talked about flipping momentum. Man, is Shevitz.
Glenn gets the 1-yard touchdown push, and coming on for the point after is Congdon. And Congdon go try to make it 24-17. His PAT attempt is good. 39 leading the football game 24-17. Brad Smith bottled him up the last possession. Or series, I should say. As he this time goes deep. One-on-one coverage on the sideline for Coffee. It's incomplete. Covered by Bowman on the play.
Well, the Nebraska Cornhuskers brought 5. They came with a pressure package, and Brad Smith tried to go one-on-one to Coffee, his big receiver at 6'5", but never kept him on the field to play. The ball sailed out of bounds. You know, if you want your receiver to make a play for you, you got to keep it in the field to play.
We haven't seen the Missouri tight ends on the receiving end. Rucker and Kaufman, who are the top tight end combo in the Big 12 Conference with 42 receptions between them. Smith keeps here on a 2nd and 10, and he is stopped at the 40-yard line. McEwen making the play for the Huskers.
Yeah, McEwen is a fine linebacker, leading the team in total tackles. And he's been super productive. 11 tackles for loss coming into today's game. He had 50 tackles on the season. And to do that for Brad Smith in the open field is pretty good. He kind of, grabbed cloth and held on for dear life, and the inside-out pursuit got there.
3rd and 9 at the 40. Huskers bringing the blow. He fumbles the football. Nebraska recovers the football at the 20, the 10, and inside the 10-yard line, it's Husker football.
I'll tell you, I think the blindside hit was made by Barry Turner. And last week against Baylor, he had 2 sacks and 3 tackles for loss. And I think Barry Taylor's the guy that knocked it out of there. And Jay Moore picked it up.
Jay Moore with the fumble recovery.
Watch at the top of the screen, Barry Turner. And he's just going to come off the edge, and they block down the blitz. He comes unblocked, and Brad Smith has no idea he's there. So the bookends, make a huge play. Turner knocks it out of there, and Moore picks it up. Now they blocked the punt for a short field, and now they have a defensive play, a sack, forced fumble recovery for another short field. Big plays for Nebraska, flipping field position.
Jay Moore has forced 3 fumbles, had his interception, and also has blocked or rather broken up a couple of passes. This time comes up with the fumble recovery, and now the Huskers an opportunity here to tie this thing up before the halftime break. It'll be 1st and goal from the 8-yard line.
That was simple. Nebraska rushed more than Missouri could block. Missouri had spread the field. They blocked down inside to pick up the blitz, and they didn't have enough people. Barry Turner came backside, blindside, untouched.
Taylor going for 6 through the air, incomplete, intended for none. King on the coverage.
Now, obviously the goal for the Missouri Tigers is simple. You got to bull your necks, bow your backs, and hold this to nothing more than a field goal opportunity. Nebraska, obviously, on the flip side, wants the momentum of tying it up going into the locker room at halftime. That's a little. See the particular on his forehead on these field turf fields. That's rubber, little pieces of rubber that kind of spray up and they're stuck on his forehead. Nice little pattern there, like buckshot.
Timeout is called by Nebraska and Zach Taylor as the Huskers want to make sure they get the max out of this situation with 2:13 remaining, and they've got a couple of timeouts remaining now. The same for Missouri. Bill Land, Dave Lapham, John Radigan with you here at Mizzou. Well, the Tigers came out roaring with a 14-0 lead and touchdowns on their first 2 possessions. Nebraska stemmed it a bit with a field goal. Missouri answered with a 79-yard run from Smith. It was 21-3, and then Nebraska is slowly taking control of this football game, and now an opportunity to tie it up before the halftime.
Well, you have to admire both teams. Missouri for coming out with a high level of intensity, and Gary Pinkel had his team ready to play, and they came out ripping. But Nebraska, they got knocked down. There's no question. They didn't get knocked out, though. They got knocked down. They got back up off the carpet, and now they've done a heck of a job of getting right back in this football game. So they're hanging around. And this game is a game. I mean, it is far, far from over. You have to play 4 quarters, not just 1. And Nebraska has experienced, coming from behind against Texas Tech and battling in close football games. And right now, both teams have a little bit of swagger, that they're taking out the football field with them this afternoon.
All right, let's send it down to John Radigan. Been a lot of excitement around Columbia with the Missouri football staff, huh, John?
Yeah, there really has. Obviously, the excitement spilled over from yesterday into today for offensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. He and his wife Kelly gave birth to their 2nd baby girl yesterday. Gianna Grace was born yesterday, 6 pounds, 13 ounces. And when we talked to Matt earlier in the week on the conference call, he said, hey, my wife told me I got to mention this so that we can get the new baby on TV. There you go, Kelly. Congratulations to you and Matt. And no doubt he had the offense rolling early, maybe inspired by that brand new delivery, guys.
All right, thank you much, John. Actually, on the defensive side, and here they're trying to stop Nebraska. Cannot. Huskers TD. Swift on the reception from Kincaid.
Now you have to have full possession and only 1 foot down in college football. He might have gotten both feet down. The official ruled that Swift had full possession and 1 foot down. That's a big play in the red zone for Nebraska. New football game if this holds up. And the pass protection is solid this time. Going to the backside is Taylor. Reception, both feet. That's a good play. That's a nice play by Swift. They're going to take a look at it, I think, just to make sure. but he did have full possession of the football and both feet down, not just one. That catch would have been good in the NFL. In college football, just need possession in one foot. He got left, right down. Catch, secure, left or right, left, touchdown. Putting it away, tucking it away. I don't think this one's going to be reversed. That's a nice play by Swift. And boy, you talk about young receivers expanding their roles, Bill. I mean, the coaching staff for Nebraska very, very impressed with the likes of Grant Mulkey and Todd Peterson and what you're seeing out of Swift. I mean, they didn't realize they had this kind of depth at wide receiver. Isaiah Fluellen has had an injury, and he's not even here. He didn't even travel today. And there are guys stepping up in their stead, getting an opportunity to expand their roles, and they're doing exactly that. They're making plays for Nebraska.
Yeah, Swift getting the TD, had come in with 10 receptions. He's been a big playmaker here this afternoon, and his first score of the year.
He looks like he's about 12 years old, doesn't he? He looks like a young kid. Catch, possession, right foot, left foot, both in bounds, full possession, touchdown. Second foot in, right foot was already in and down. He got both feet down with possession of the football. Tremendous effort by Swift.
And the Husker crowd screams with glee as they announce that the play does stand, and he's got 4 receptions for 49 yards and now a touchdown, and the Huskers a point away from knotting this thing up with 2:07 to go before the end of the second quarter. And the point after attempt is up and good by Congdon, and it makes it 24 apiece here in Columbia.
It's been a Charles Dickens deal, tale of 2 quarters. First quarter all Missouri, second quarter all Nebraska. How's the second half going to unfold? I mean, is Dickens going to write another script here, another story? Because the first half has been an amazing deal. It's been like 2 separate games in 2 quarters. It's been incredible.
And has Zach Taylor been what he was described to us as? Steady as a rock, a field general leader. You know, nothing is nearly as flashy as Brad Smith,
right,
but no turnovers, thrown the ball away when he's had to.
Yep.
He comes back. They've taken advantage of the turnovers. You come away and say, well, now we're even after being down 14.
He's shown me a few things that I know Coach Callahan likes. Quick feet, courage in the pocket. He's taken some hits and still delivered the football. He throws with anticipation and he throws with accuracy. The big double A, anticipation and accuracy. He throws to spots and he puts it right on the money. And he knows this offense. You've seen him go to the backside. He exhausts his progression. Couple on the front side, then he immediately looks backside and delivers a rocket. He's the real deal.
So the kick now for the Huskers. And it is fumbled,
wow,
and then recovered again at the 19-yard line. Nebraska saying they got it. Don't think that's the case.
Yeah, Bible already signaled first down Missouri. A fortuitous bounce there. That was almost tragedy, an unforced error.
And those Barman that stepped in there, 34. Yeah, Barman, and then went off without the football.
Yeah, he just lost control of it, didn't tuck it away. He was in a little bit of a tug of war with Tommy Saunders, who caught the deflected touchdown pass. And then Barman says, no, man, put a handle on that football. And what a nice bounce it took for him, because at least Missouri maintains possession and Nebraska doesn't get another short field.
And Nebraska's last 2 scoring drives, if you will, required 16 seconds to tie this thing up. Now the pitch. And Woods gets out of bounds. 29-yard line. So Missouri, all right, see what Gary Pinkel and crew come up with here. You got 1:56 to go. You still got a couple of timeouts to use. What do you think, Dave? If you get the ball near midfield, then you start being a little conscious of the clock?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think if they punch themselves out of tough field position there, you know, you have to settle down after a potential giveaway. Now you start to work a little bit.
First and 10 at the 29. The pitch, a long pitch, and out of bounds on the Nebraska sideline. Ekwekwuru with the football as McKeon makes the stop.
I don't think you get away from what got you that big lead, and that was an aggressive posture. I mean, they went after, they attacked Nebraska. You don't want to, like, you know, pull your horns in and maybe show a signal to the team that you lost confidence a little bit, you know. Still spread it and rip a little bit.
Second down and 7, the ball at the 33-yard line. High snap, Smith with it. Saw an opening. Smith 35 and then slides, and he's short of the first down. And the clock moving. 140. Ickes near the play for the stop.
I think this Smith is going to have a great NFL career. I mean, people are saying, is he going to play quarterback or is he a receiver? He runs 4.38, has a 40-inch vertical. He's an athlete that can, if he plays receiver, he can be your third quarterback. You don't even have to have a third quarterback on your active roster every week. He provides a lot of flexibility.
3rd and 3. Smith got the first down and nearly broke it for a big gainer as Bullocks was hanging on. I think he has deceiving strength as well.
Deceiving speed and strength. I mean, he's so fluid. He is so gifted athletically, and he's got great vision right here. I mean, he turns it up, puts both arms around that football, protects the pig, lowers his shoulder, and gets it done. Now you got to think about least field goal opportunity.
Picks up 10 on the carry. 1st and 10 to the 47. In trouble again.
Got him.
Lofts it. Man wide open. Oh my! Just couldn't catch up to it was William Franklin.
And Franklin's got some wheels, but Brad Smith had to throw that football going forward to the line of scrimmage. So his mechanics were a little bit off because the pressure made him step up. And as he's running toward the line of scrimmage, he tried to take something off of it and lofted up there, but just threw that dart a little bit too hard. And I'll tell you what, that's the fastest receiver they have. This kid can cook, but he just could not enough air under that ball. Brad Smith or Franklin would have gone to.
2nd and 10, 58 seconds to go. Ball on the 47-yard line of Missouri. Game even at 24 each. Smith goes to the sideline, and the receiver has to stay in bounds as Rude makes the tackle.
Burn it. You got to start thinking about timeouts, and they take one, and you got to do that.
Saunders made the decision to go for the extra yardage. Looked like he could have gotten out of bounds here.
Well, Nebraska rushed 3 and dropped 8, and he decides, I'm going to turn it up, curl it up inside, and he curled it up right into Rude. If he just one step to his right, he stops the clock and saves the timeout. Trying to do too much. Take what the defense gives you. Trying to do too much sometimes hurts you.
So when they resume, it'll be a 3rd and 2. The ball at the 45-yard line. And now 1 timeout remaining for Missouri.
46 seconds, 1 timeout left. You can still get in field goal range. Got to get this 3rd down conversion, though.
3rd and 2. Smith on the option. Keeps the football. Don't know. See where they spot the ball. Looks like he's a little short. McKeven Smith, the senior from Macon, Georgia, made the tackle for Nebraska.
That was a good effort right there by Nebraska's defensive line. The strength of the team are those 9 defensive linemen that the Cornhuskers continue to roll in there.
Clock moving. So
he's deciding he's going to just let it
at this point, you're saying, all right, we'll take it to the house. Be glad to be tied. Fans disagreeing. Of course, it's easy to hoot and holler.
Well, if you don't convert on the 4th down, now Nebraska's got to shoot. They have decent field position, so Coach Pinkel is going to let it run down and then call the timeout, the final timeout, and then just stop the, you can just basically take a knee.
They went for the 4th down earlier today and converted. A little bit different situation here, though. And you say easy to think, all right, go for it. Well,
you know what they can do, though? Put their 6'7" Kaufman and their 6'5" Rucker and do a Hail Mary and see if she's full of grace. Get it down the field. And
got nothing to lose.
Now, does Brad Smith have the arm strength to get it? I'm sure he does. He'd probably be throwing the ball from about midfield. He can get it in the end zone with a high trajectory. And do a little bit of, we talked about the matchup that favors Missouri is the height of their wideouts against these Nebraska defensive backs. So why not just let these big boys run down the field and patty cake it around up there and do the old Hail Mary. Look at Kaufman at 6'7". He's the post man. And then, at power forward, Rucker, and Coffey's the small forward, pretty good size there. And then the point guard is Smith, and he's going to distribute the ball to one of those big boys.
All right, Saunders and Smith have scored the touchdowns for Missouri today. It is 4th and 1, final play of the half, as Smith
one man
fires it deep, and it is intercepted by Nebraska in the end zone. Courtney Grigsby gets the interception, and that ends the first half. And talk about entertaining. Wow, we saw a little bit of everything.
back October Saturday in 2005 until the Huskers capitalized on a Brad Smith fumble. They scored just 2 plays later to tie the game at 24. We rejoin the action in the third quarter.
Boy, in the first quarter was all about the O for Missouri. Their offense was operating at a super high efficiency rate. They were a buzz saw for sure.
Almost 300 yards of offense in the first quarter. They end up at the half with 314. Nebraska had 169 for total offense. And the first down carry to Ross. Ross had a 123-yard game against Wake Forest, 153 against Pitt. He's stopped by DeMarcus Scott here.
He averaged over 6 yards a carry in the first half, 43 yards on 7 lugs. That's pretty good efficiency right there. Like we said before, at 5'6", look at him. He disappears in the huddle. He's a quadricep and a pectoral. That's all he gives you for hitting surface. I mean, he's got the big quad. He falls up at the pec, and there's nothing else to grab at 5'6". But boy, those pecs and quads are massive.
2nd and 9, ball on the 31. Ross tripped up and brought down. A loss on the play as Harrington spears through to make the stop.
That's just penetration by Missouri. Talking about the quickness, they slant and then they're running through the gaps. Missouri's not going to stand there in 2-gap Nebraska. Missouri's going to move around before the snap of the football, and then they're going to slant and stunt after the snap. And that time Harrington ran through as a linebacker and had a tackle for loss. And he's done that a few times. I mean, and Harrington had 7 tackles for loss coming into this football game, so he's got at least 1 more.
Loss of 3, 3rd and 12 for the Huskers. 24 apiece. Where we ended the first half, and a timeout. No, wait a minute. Oh, he snapped the football, but the whistle was blown, I believe.
Right, he called timeout before the snap. The center couldn't hear the whistle being blown. Kurt Mann, he still snapped the football. That's talking about poison the noise. The noise is extreme here.
That could have been disastrous for the Huskers.
Yep, timeouts go. Now they've burned 2 timeouts, though. Missouri giving those different looks. If you need timeouts in the end of the game, Bill, 2-minute drive, not going to have a whole lot of them.
And the shotgun, and Taylor got good protection. And it broke down, and it is
picked off.
It's intercepted at the line, at the 25-yard line. Brian Smith. Nebraska gets the turnover. Missouri forces a turnover, I should say, and now the Tigers a great opportunity. And we were just saying, not a lot of juice to start this second half, and then bam.
Right. And Brian Smith, the sack master, comes up with the interception. But once again, watch the protection right here. Blitz pickup, overpowered. Corey Ross is overpowered. The ball is airborne, and Smith makes an athletic play, goes after it, comes up with the interception. Big linebacker on Corey Ross. He's overwhelmed, overmatched. And actually, it was Zadie Jackson, a defensive field on more of a line, and you have less of a margin for error. You put a little air under it, lofted a little bit. He might have had a touchdown in the first half to Franklin right before the half. And might have had a better opportunity on that one. Give your defender, your offensive player, a chance to make a play over the defender.
All right, they're calling it 43. He's hit earlier from 29 today. His longest has been a 45-yarder. Adam Cross, the sophomore from Liberty, Missouri.
It's a good hold, because that was a bad snap.
No good. Does not hit it. And the game remains tied, as the Nebraska fans love it.
And you got to start with snap, hold, and kick. Snap not that good. Holder reacts and adjusts, does his best he can, but it throws Cross its timing off. And that was a good job by Ekerekwu, who did a good job adjusting on that inside snap. The snap was not as good as you like to have it. And as a result, when all 3 phases aren't operating well, the Nebraska fans like to miss.
They are loving it here today, as their club was down 14-0 early on and battled back. And now the second half, the defenses have control. 1st and 10 from the 25. Taylor rolling out, got rocked as he threw the football. It is incomplete, out of bounds. And Taylor took a pretty good shot after he let go of the football, just as, I should say.
Yeah, and it was Brian Smith again. They got the big hit on him. Naked bootleg. And he comes out there, and there's Brian Smith tracking him down, and he knocks him to the turf. Pretty good throw. Just couldn't quite get that that left foot in. I'll tell you what, old Zach Taylor, he's going to be in the jacuzzi now. That's where he's going to sleep well tonight and wake up sore tomorrow. He's taken some licks. He's shown a lot of courage in and out of the pocket with the contact he's taken.
Some help with the shoulder pad from one of his teammates there. Now, their interception turned out to not hurt him. So they get the ball right back. 2nd and 10. Plenty of time here, and his receiver was down, got right back up, made the grab, and moves the chains. Nate Swift, as he makes a nice play, and now Nebraska some breathing room.
Yeah, he blew a tire. He's coming out to the sideline. He blew a right tire. He's going to the pit to get a little change of tread. And as he ran out of his shoes, I mean, he goes down and back up he comes, and he's got the reception. Has to leave the field and retread.
Ball at the 47. Pick up a 21-22 yards and first down now. Come back to the running game. That is Cody Glenn, I believe, and the tackle being made by Derek Ming. Shulock also in on the play.
That's one thing, Bill, that Nebraska did not do well in the first half. 30 yards on 12 carries, counting the quarterback sacks, and the Missouri held up against that running game pretty darn well. Nebraska, when they made plays, it was in the passing game, and really the points they scored were due to those short fields off of blocked punts and turnovers.
Yep, Glenn had a 1-yard run. Swift an 8-yard pass reception from Taylor for the 2 quick scores. And this one is passed to complete. Another big hit in the backfield, but the reception is made, and Kincaid covering on the play as Missouri gives up another first down.
I tell you, it's amazing. Zach Taylor, he's got some Bacon here. Bacon comes unblocked from the backside and puts his helmet right in the small of his back. And even with that said, Zach Taylor has gotten rid of the football before Bacon delivers the hit, and he throws to Steve Reich and then takes the lick. He was very, very tough individual, tough customer in that pocket.
Sets up 1st and 10 at the 41 of Missouri now. None in motion coming to the near side. Ross brought down from behind, and Derek Ming. Well, this Missouri defense has got some speed.
It does, and they're starting to get it figured out. Coach Eberflus decided to just simplify things. And when you know where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to do, you can play faster. And that time he had Ming run through on a run blitz, and Ming delivered. How about that? 5'11", 245. That's a fire hydrant with wheels.
Ming making another big play. Ross, 10 carries for 39 yards so far today. Ross coming in averaging 4.3 a carry and had 549 total for the season. Taylor unloads to Swift. Out of bounds on the Mizzou sideline, complete at the 33-yard line. And Dominique Johnson covering in the play for the Tigers.
Well, I watched this Bill Callahan's offense. When I played with the Bengals for 10 years, Bill, we ran the West Coast offense a good part of that time. And a lot of these plays are the same. Terminology might be a little different, but the routes, the protections, a lot of it's the same. And the one thing the West Coast offense allows you to do is to attack all quadrants of the field throwing the football. And then when we had success, we led the league in rushing. You can run it in the West Coast offense well, too.
3rd and 2. They don't run it here. And it is complete. Dropped it, I beg your pardon. And make it 4th and 2 as King able to get a hand in there and pry that one away.
Exactly. That's the reason for the incompletion is King's involvement. His arrival was simultaneous to that of the football. Now Nebraska looks like they're going to try to get after the long one here. Or are they going to go? They may be going. Quarterback back out in the field. Coach Callahan saying, you know what? I'm not sure about this range on a day like I'm going for the first down.
So 4th and 2. Made that decision prior probably to the last call. And empty backfield here. Right across the middle. Open to the 20. The 15. He fumbled the football.
Amazing.
Missouri has recovered inside the 5-yard line.
Unbelievable.
The Tigers get it back. But look how it happens.
It's a slant. Nunn catches the football with his speed. He's starting to separate, and Simpson strips it out of there. And once Simpson strips it out of there, Overstreet says, "I'll take it, thank you." But Nunn turns a big play, and Simpson, what a heads up. He just reached in there and raked it out of there, and Overstreet comes up with the football. Marvelous defensive play, never quitting on the opportunity to take it away. What a heads-up deal. I thought Nunn was going to be gone for a second.
Overstreet, the junior from Dallas, comes up the play. Smith out of his own end zone now. Keeps the football, cuts it back up across to the 6-yard line. The Gary Pinkel's teams have always been good, very good in the takeaway, giveaway department on the plus side. And he said something that they've always worked on it. This year it hadn't been going their way, but he said that hadn't kept us from continuing to drill on it, and they do those types of plays all the time in practice.
Oh, absolutely. They had 5 fumbles and 2 interceptions in the last 3 games coming into today. And turned it over a little bit in the first half with 3 turnovers. They've been doing the gauntlet drill for ball security all season long.
Coffee can't find the handle. And now in Missouri got the turnover at the 25 of Nebraska. Didn't get anything out of it. Field goal was off. Then they get it back with it looked like Nebraska's going to go in for a score. And now they're faced with another 3rd down. 3rd and 7. They are 3 of 12 in 3rd down conversions thus far today.
It looked like Coffee, the ball came to him before he could realize it. It seemed like the ball came on top of him before he was ready. The timing was a little bit off on that sequence. And they're looking to the sideline again, getting the call from the coaches from the sideline very late in the play clock. And here comes the adjustment, the late blitz.
Smith across the middle, complete.
He put his knee down.
Put his knee down,
right.
But a nice job by William Franklin. That will move the chains and gets him out of the shadows of that end zone.
Franklin said, I can scoot to the sideline, but once you put your knee down in college football, the play's over. But again, Palmer does a nice job coming out of there, picking up the blitzing safety, and Smith throws a strike, but the left knee is down with the catch of the football. Franklin gets up to do something afterwards, but to no avail.
1st and 10 Tigers at their own 17. A shovel pass inside, and not much doing there.
Now that was rebuffed right there. Tony Temple nowhere to go. They closed on Temple. That was just well played by Nebraska. Nobody gets cut in half. Everybody's on their feet and running to the football, playing their defensive responsibilities pretty strongly right there as Bullocks finishes it.
2nd down and 11 from the 16-yard line. 24 apiece, 5:17 and counting here in the 3rd quarter.
Again, late signals from the coaching staff on the sideline in Missouri.
Smith again comes to Franklin, very close to the 1st down. Tiedtke was covering on the play for the Huskers, Blake Tiedtke. And that'll move the change. So Missouri, this is the best rhythm they've had, Gary, since the 1st quarter.
Oh, no question about it. They're trying to reestablish tempo and rhythm, and this spread offense is all that. It's exactly that. And that's a pretty good job right there. Catch the football and get down. Make sure you secure the pig.
How about Dave? I know your name before the season's over.
That's all right, George.
We work together. Joe and Gary, by the way, will be coming up to you from Norman tonight with Baylor and Oklahoma. Here's the pitch out, and the Tigers again busted as Temple nearly picks up 10, and Daniel Bullocks makes the tackle.
Now Missouri has Nebraska on their heels a little bit, throwing the football and running the option. You know, they run the shovel pass off the option. They can run the sprint option. And this is a way that you can stretch a defense horizontally. And all the coaches, you'll see Smith and the Missouri receivers looking to the sideline for signals from the coaching staff, and they're signaling plays in as late as they possibly can once they see what kind of defense Nebraska is positioning themselves in.
Yeah, the chess match is on, is it not?
Oh, absolutely. 1st down. Fresh set of 4.
So the Tigers, remember, this drive started after the ball was hammered out of Nunn's hands. They took over inside, what, about the 7 or 8 yard line?
Well, it started at the 3 yard line. There's a mistake up there at the 3 yard line. So they punched out of bad field position already. They've already flipped it out of bad field position. Now they want to try to score.
1st and 10. And the pitch again. And Temple. He pushes it out. You kind of see that offensive line getting off the ball. Carricker making the tackle. They've slowed down that Nebraska front a little bit.
Well, they have. When you pick up 7 or 8 yards on 1st down, now you're basically on schedule. You're ahead of schedule, and this is a free play for you. I mean, this is a play that definitely favors the offense in this down and distance. You can do anything.
2nd and 3 from the Tiger 45. Brad Smith. And Smith has the 1st down. He's just shy of midfield. Wally Muhammad makes the tackle for Nebraska.
Well, there'd be nothing better from Missouri's standpoint than to go 97 yards, a multiple play drive, milk a little clock, and score, and finish it with touchdown. They're not even in, past midfield yet. That's the problem with starting at the 3 yard line. All the plays you have to run, the chance for mistakes is big.
It's a 10 at the 49 now for Missouri. Smith slides forward, found a little crease, falls to the 46, maybe a 45 yard line before Jay Moore stops him in Nebraska territory.
Brad Smith always has the same look on his face. I mean, you can never tell if he's up 20 or down 20. He is so poised, and he never panics out in the football field whatsoever. And I think his team feeds off of that.
6'2", 210. He's already graduated out of Youngstown, Ohio. Some graduate work here as the Tigers know the big side of the upside of this game. Both these teams coming in 4-1. Here's Smith. Broke a tackle, the 30. Smith trying to go all the way, and he does. Touchdown, Mizzou.
One thing you have to be with Brad Smith is a good open field tackler. And when you don't make the open field tackle, you're in trouble. And it starts up front. Watch the O-line. Everybody's going to block down. But Big Palmer comes around and seals it. And now the open field tackle is missed. Nice downfield block, gets 2. And then Smith's speed finishes it off. But Tiki had an opportunity. Smith's speed, Tiki tried to arm tackle him, and Smith broke that arm tackle in the open field.
A 45-yard run for the score, and the point after by Crossett is good. And now it is Missouri back on top, 31-24. He's got 210 yards rushing today.
And this is the conclusion of a 97-yard drive. Tiki can't arm tackle him. Smith, boy, did you see him? He kind of jumped like a slalom skier on the edge of those cleats. And once he landed, he accelerated again to the end zone. Excellent effort by one heck of a quarterback.
Touchdowns responsible for, pretty good group there as he has tied Matt Leinart of USC for career active quarterbacks with 90 touchdowns that he's been responsible for. And the Dodge scoring drive, 10 plays, 97 yards. What a statement by Missouri.
And 4 touchdowns for Smith today. Man, 84 yards offense he was responsible for last week against Iowa State, a career low. He follows it up with one of his career best performances. That is the sign of a great player. You might hold me down 1 week. You're not going to hold me down 2 weeks. I have too much pride. I'm going to respond. And he has bounced big time in his response.
Yeah, responsible for 4 scores. He's run for 3. He's thrown for the 4th to Saunders. And it makes it 31-24. The kick in the end zone. And the Huskers will bring it out. The 30, 35, and nice return by Lucky, Marlon Lucky, I should say, out of Hollywood, California, 6'2", 210, and brought down by Simpson.
Great. In Nebraska, because of the crowd noise, they had a false start penalty. They went 1st and 15 incomplete, now 2nd and 15.
Here is Taylor back to pass under pressure, nearly dragged down, intercepted. Missouri picks it off. It's turned into a turnover party. Overstreet again with a big play.
Well, didn't get the sack, but what they get was better. Shulock got the pressure, and Shulock says, oh, man, I didn't get the sack. Then he looks up and says, I forced the interception because of the pressure. Shulock's pressure was big because his team gets a takeaway as a result of it. Watch the big fella stay after it, stay after it. Because of that pressure, a bad decision made right there by Zach to throw the football under that kind of duress. The ball sails, and Overstreet rewards Shulock's pressure with a big takeaway. But that's one that the quarterback, Zach Taylor, should have eaten, should have never thrown down the field.
And Overstreet with 9 tackles, a fumble recovery, and now a pickoff. What a day he's had for Mizzou in that secondary. And the Tigers with the lead. Try to keep it on the ground here. Brandenburg makes the tackle.
Yeah, now they're afforded nice field position. Yeah, they had the 97-yard drive on 10 plays. The defense responds and takes it away, gives it right back to the offense. Nebraska's defense, they play a lot of people, but going on a 10-play, 97-yard drive, then getting right back out in the field, man, they're a little tired.
Overstreet out of Dallas Samuel High School. Of course, his father, Lee David Overstreet, the star back at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Just like the quarterback who delivered that ball to him, his father was at Oklahoma. Now, Mizzou's quarterback, Smith, dances for time, and he finds Franklin. Rudd makes the tackle, but not before they move the chains deep into Husker territory now, down to the 32.
Well, we talk a lot about in the Big 12 Conference, there are multiple quarterbacks that give you the dual threat, the run-throw threat. Vince Young. And Brad Smith is definitely upper echelon. He's in the elite category in that dual threat that he poses on the football field.
First and 10 at the 32 for Missouri. 1:18 and ticking here in the third quarter. Smith pitches it quickly. Temple trying to hang on as Nebraska swarming and trying to strip the football. And Doganduro makes the tackle. Ola Doganduro, junior from Inglewood, California, Los Angeles area. Came out of Compton Community College, where he's an all-conference pick.
Well, the crackback block couldn't be accomplished. The receiver was trying to come in and crack on McCune, the linebacker, and McCune blitzed. So once he blitzed, there was no crackback opportunity. He disrupted the whole thing.
Second and 10 for Missouri. 32 of Nebraska. Inside 40 seconds now in the third quarter.
Coaches are going crazy over here, signaling the play in late.
Smith in trouble. Somehow stayed out of that sandwich, and it is incomplete.
Yeah, Smith, you're right, Bill. He felt the pressure of Jay Moore. You know, sometimes you feel like quarterbacks have eyes in the back of their head. You know, they have a clock in their head, and they sense pressure, and Smith just, he knew lurking in the vicinity was Jay Moore, and he just stepped up at the right time. And it's amazing how those guys have a feel for that.
And it makes it 3rd and 10.
Coaches again over here going crazy, signaling a play in from the sideline late.
Smith carries it up the middle. It's down near the 28. You're still talking, what, about a 45-yard field goal attempt as Muhammad makes the tackle. So were they getting a position for the kick, or are they thinking 4-down territory?
Yeah, I think you have to go, because if you kick it at this length, you have a propensity for it to be blocked because you have to drive it. You know, and you might kick the ball a little low. And the third quarter is going to tick-tock away here. Now they have a quarter break to talk about it.
Out strong in the second half, forcing 3 Nebraska turnovers in the third quarter. Leading by a touchdown, Mizzou tries to put this one out of reach. We rejoin the action in the fourth quarter.
All right, it is 4th down and 7 for Missouri, starting the fourth quarter at the 29 of Nebraska. They'll go for it. Brad Smith looks over, and again,
watch the coach
signal.
Yeah, watch it. Here it comes. Here it comes. Now there are 4 guys signaling. Oh man, decipher. Oh, everybody's signaling something. Which one's the hot signal? Which one's the right? Which one's the false signals?
All the deception and trickery that goes on. They show blitz. They come after it. Smith unloads it. It's complete. It's a first down. It's to Franklin. Green makes the tackle. He held on at the 17-yard line.
Big-time players make big-time plays, and Brad Smith made a beautiful touch pass here. Under duress. Over LaKeven Smith, it was a zone blitz. LaKeven Smith dropped out of the defensive line. Here comes the pressure. Watch LaKeven Smith. That's the nose guard. Oh, over his hand in front of the defensive back. They beat the zone blitz.
Smith keeping the football, turning it on, 15, and then got out of bounds just inside the 14 where Bowman was there to make the stop.
I'll tell you, I don't think I've ever seen a 6'2", 305-pound middle linebacker like LaKeven Smith was trying to do on that zone blitz. And Brad Smith said, I'm going to feather it right over your fingertips, because LaKeven at 6'2", 305 doesn't have a vertical.
Yeah.
And when he tried to jump, you know, you couldn't slide the Sunday paper under that bad boy, and he got it over his fingertips.
A little rough on the fella.
Well, that's not his game. His game's two gap here. His game is right here. Come after him. Not back here. He's not a linebacker.
2nd and 7. Smith throws it away. Coffee on the near sideline. 3 receivers in the end zone. They're well covered as Nebraska had that taken care of.
Well, now you're in the red zone. You're in field goal range, but you want to convert this 3rd and 7. You want that first down inside the 10-yard line. You want the first to go. Check, all the coaches are driving. Now, they're all Ralph Cramden. They've all got the bus. They're driving the bus, and now they're signaling some stuff in. Which one's live, which one's memorized.
You just hope Brad Smith always knows who is sitting in the signal I'm supposed to pay attention to.
Absolutely.
Smith pitches it out here. Temple tries to cut it up outside.
Nice tackle.
And what a play by Nebraska's Corey McEwen. That Mike linebacker. See why this Nebraska defense has been dominant much of the season. They make plays.
Yeah, they sure do. And this is just staying after it. I mean, getting after it. And Temple can fly. And I thought McEwen initially may have taken a poor angle, because I thought Temple might be able to separate. But McEwen came up with it and holds it to a field goal opportunity.
31-yard attempt by Crossan. But Crossan trying to make it a 2-possession game as the early moments of the 4th quarter.
It's been tough snaps here, Bill. Let's see how good this snap is. That's been a problem. That's better.
It's long enough, and it is good. Our Nissan game summary today. What a game we've got going here. Missouri by 10. The total yards, Missouri. Look at that. Wow. 454 yards against this stout Husker defense. Brad Smith has been absolutely incredible. Has scored 3, thrown for another.
Bill, but Nebraska's pretty good against that run, and you have to continue to mix it up, be balanced, I think.
First Down Line is brought to you by Overstock.com, your online outlet. It's all about the O. It is 1st and 10 at the 17.
And they're going empty backfield, 3 receivers right, 2 receivers left. And a great running back in the shotgun, that's for sure. A running back that can throw it a little bit.
Rude was inching up, now backs off. They toss it to Coffee. The official, Coffee literally went right up his backside. He stopped at the 20. Both sides will boo the official now. The fans will all agree on one thing today.
Well, this is a new umpire. He had to go from field judge to umpire because, see the F, that's not the U. He had to go from field judge to umpire because the umpire got hurt in the first half. So Rocky Ryan is now in unfamiliar territory. You know, and he's in areas that he's exploring. It's like, boy, there's a lot. He's looking up. There's a lot of big bodies around here. Look at the size of these guys. Rocky's saying, I got to do something about this. And then limping off the field is Tyler Llewellyn.
I thought you were going to start handing out grades and you were circling that F, and I thought, oh, wait a minute, these refs do a great job. Back off a second here. By the way, Rude with 11 tackles is the high tackler in the game for Nebraska now on that last stop. 2nd and 7, ball at the 20-yard line. Brad Smith.
Nice.
Comes back to 20. 25. Looked like he was head out of bounds, but says, hey, every time I can stay in bounds at this point, protect the football, keep the clock moving. Tiedtke made the tackle.
Well, you know, that's right now you have a quarterback that's a great runner. And great runners are going to make Nebraska's strength work against them. Fast flow, now I'm going to cut it back. And if you don't stay at home on the backside, I'm going to make you pay. And that's exactly what he did. He used Nebraska's pursuit against them, slammed on the brakes and cut it back.
1st and 10 at the 29 now.
He's still over a first down every lug. It's unreal. Unbelievable is right.
last for 1,167 coming in, run for 619. Today he's just running wild. This time slides across the 36-yard line with Rude there for Nebraska.
I was privileged enough to see his first conference game against Oklahoma, and he was the best player on the field, and he's playing at that level today. I mean, he made Oklahoma look slow in that game. He's making Nebraska look slow today. Gary Pinkel found himself a gem in Northern Ohio and brought him to Missouri.
Yeah, that first game took a fake field goal attempt and a real gutsy call by Bob Stoops for Oklahoma to beat Smith and Mizzou here back in his freshman campaign.
The only completion that backup quarterback Holder had in his career at Oklahoma.
2nd and 3, drops it across the middle, and
did you see McCune swinging, trying to knock that ball out of there? He was giving it some body shots, and the fans saw it and they're booing. And McCune was saying, I'm punching that sucker out no matter what.
Rucker on the reception.
It's like Rocky Balboa. I'm going to hit the meat. Boom. Yeah, body shots. Get it out of there. You couldn't do it. Body shots didn't work. Boy, McCune.
Better be careful though. Stripping the ball is one thing.
Right. Personal foul's another.
Yeah.
And tell you though, he has the mentality of a linebacker. He's playing the right position.
1st and 10 at the 42 for the Tigers. Their own 42. Now the back, Tony Temple, the sophomore out of Kansas City, sets up. And Smith has the option there. Keeps it himself. And McKeven Smith makes the tackle.
What a comforting feeling it must be for Coach Pinkel right now to have a 2-score lead, and you can put the ball in the hands of the best player you have offensively. And a great decision to change to the spread offense. Last year, tried to keep Brad Smith in the pocket a little bit more, and it didn't work out. Completed a career low 51%. Said, you know what, we got to go to the spread attack, and space is our friend, especially with an athlete like Smith, the quarterback, and is paying huge dividends.
He's run 23 times for 233 yards part of that one.
Wow.
This one, he just drops it up top and says, go get it, Coffee. And Sean does that. 6'5" senior out of East Cleveland, Ohio.
Just out of bounds, though. They said he didn't have possession in bounds. And Bowman was in coverage, and he just lofted it up there and let Coffee adjust and come back to it. And Coffee's tightrope in the white, and he's not there. Bowman knows, and he yanked him out of bounds. He didn't have possession with the ball in the field to play. Coffee just a little skosh, not quite aware of where he needed to be on the sideline of the field to play.
And also stops the clock with 8:06. It's 3rd and 9 now from the 4. Smith took a shot.